In 1887, the government authorized the expansion of Fort Omaha. However, Fort Omaha was too small and land there was too expensive for expansion, so a new post was built. It was named Fort Crook in honor of the renowned Civil War hero and veteran frontier soldier General George Crook. Fort Crook took 5 years to build at an appropriation of $700,000. A total of 12 buildings were constructed, and in the spring of 1896, the first 4 companies of the 22nd Infantry arrived on station. By the end of July 1896, 20 officers and 432 men were assigned to Fort Crook. The early 1920s witnessed the beginnings of a dramatic transformation. The 7th Corps area established its first headquarters at Fort Crook in 1920, and in September the first air officer, Captain Ira A. Rader, arrived. At the same time, the first permanent steel hangar and dirt runways were completed. In May of 1924, the airfield at Fort Crook was designated Offutt Field in honor of Lieutenant Jarvis Offutt, the first pilot from Omaha to be killed in France during World War I. On December 6, 1940, it was announced that the government had contracted the Glenn L. Martin Company to build a bomber factory in Omaha, Nebraska. A total of 500 acres and all flying facilities at Fort Crook were leased to the Martin Company. The contract called for 9 buildings, including a bomb-proof aircraft assembly building, and were under construction by the Martin Company and 4 other construction companies. By October 25, 1941, the main building was finished almost 2 months ahead of schedule. The Martin Bomber Plant began limited production of the B-26 Marauders on the 1st of January, 1942. On June 7, 1946, Fort Crook and Offutt Field were turned over to 2nd Air Force, and all of it was named Offutt Field. Almost 2 years later, on January 13, 1948, Offutt Field was renamed Offutt Air Force Base and transferred to the newly founded Air Force. Early in 1948, Offutt Air Force Base was chosen as SAC's new headquarters. General George C. Kenney, Commander-in-Chief of SAC, retired in October, transferring command to Lieutenant General Curtis E. LeMay, and in November, SAC headquarters was established at Offutt. By January 1957, headquarters SAC completed its move to the new building. This $9 million complex actually consisted of 2 interconnected structures, an administrative building consisting of 3 stories above ground and a basement plus a 3-story underground command post. Access from one facility to another was through a tunnel. The underground facility, which was designed to be safe from anything but a direct hit from a high-yield nuclear weapon, housed the control room and all related communications equipment designed to maintain close contact with SAC forces throughout the world. The 1960s and 70s saw Offutt grow once again due to many construction projects and the increase in personnel. The establishment of the Looking Glass Airborne Command Post in 1961, the activation of Air Force Global Weather Central in 1969, the arrival of the 55th Strategic Reconnaissance Wing in 1966, and the National Emergency Command Post mission in 1975 all enhanced Offutt's important military role. The 55th Strategic Reconnaissance Wing's mission was to conduct global-scale strategic reconnaissance missions independently or in cooperation with other forces. With the end of the Cold War, the military underwent many changes during the 1990s. One of the first changes to take place at Offutt was that the 55th Strategic Reconnaissance Wing was redesignated and restructured to form the 55th Wing.